Welcome everybody. This is the Thursday evening Viper trading webinar. If you're here to learn about trading the futures markets using the Viper tools, you are absolutely in the right place. First, we have to get our standard disclaimer out of the way, and we can get on to some charts. All communications from Viper Trading Systems are for educational purposes only. Futures and Forex trading does involve risk, and there is a risk of loss. Nothing contained in this webinar or other webinars, including the live trading room, are to be construed as investment or trading advice. And of course, everybody knows you do trade at your own sole discretion. Good. All right, let's get over to some charts here. I'm going to mix it up a little bit tonight. I've got some, just to be clear, we've done this other Saturday nights and people seem to like it. We're in sim. Everybody, just to be clear, I'm not going to do any live trading with real money here. We always do it in sim after hours. I never, ever, rarely ever trade after hours with live money. Markets are thin, so you got 4 bid, 4 ask. Sometimes you got a 2-3 tick spread. Here's a 3 tick spread just to get in, plus commission. Sometimes the movement is fairly hectic and not predictable. Sometimes they respect swings, sometimes they don't. But all that being said, the cool thing about this is that we can go ahead and throw some trades on and manage them together as a team. Now, let's look at NASDAQ right here. So we're in sim, just to be clear. Okay. All right, so what are we going to do here? We've got NASDAQ, which was clearly in a huge sell-off all day, just all day. All right, here's the close over here. Just after the close, it continued to sell off. Now, my question is this. Here we had a nice little mid-band trade that set up that actually turned out pretty nicely. We came up. Arguably, now, before we start looking at taking trades right now, in sim, of course, is the interpretation of what's going on right now with NASDAQ. Most of you, of course, know that after you have a long, protracted down move or up move, many times, so what I mean by that is that, you know, here's the market selling off after hours. Got this huge thrust down to fresh lows. We had a couple of mid-band rolls here. One mid-band roll short, slightly above the mid-band, roll short. Didn't take out the bottom, didn't even check it, so slightly higher low. Came up, paused at the mid-band. And of course, if you were trading this, if you let it go either way, you actually got a long trade here. Now, let me just quickly address the source of some confusion when it comes in particular to this region that is bounded by the outermost band, which in this case would be called a phantom. Some of you hear the terms phantom used a lot. Phantom is another word for a deep probe. In other words, the market is the short covering in this case from all this selling over here propels the market a little beyond where it should, you know, theoretically it should have respected this swing to the short side and rolled here, right? And I think that's confusing for a lot of traders because, you know, it's going beyond here and the natural tendency is to start to think that this is a trend change. However, the way we teach this, the way that we have taught this for a very long time is that until a major swing is broken, you are still considered to be in the downtrend. So in other words, you would continue to short this resistance area as the phantom short. Now I know that you know, a lot of traders don't like that too much because visually it's tough. It's broken this swing. The bars are blue. The background has changed. And in this case, the midband has stepped up just slightly. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do this just to see if we can get something going here. I'm going to go ahead and pop a limit buy order on right down in the midband here. Let's see if we get popped with a long on a bounce. Just to get something on here to watch and trade. Otherwise, we'll sit here for an hour with nothing to look at. Of course, the other thing you could do is we could sort of emulate a box. An object trader box might look something like this right here at the midband. So what this would do is that if it touches here and bounces, that would be a touch. That would be a touch of the mid-band, and it would fill this limit order long here, right? The other thing to do is you could say, well, you know, I want to buy when it takes the top of this area out right here. See the swings at the top of where this box is sitting right now? That's two ways to get in here. Now you might say, well, Charles, didn't you just say this was short? Here's the thing. This is kind of what I want to call a, I don't want to say a no-fly zone, but an area where a market can many times be what we call in transition. In transition simply means that you know, all due respect, since this held and this held, you do have a series of two higher lows and higher highs with here. So when we say transition, we mean that it could very well be a trend transition to the upside. Can everybody see there's sort of a little channel forming here, like this? See it? See it forming? Now a trend change would be confirmed, and we might get popped on this limit order. We'll see if we get it. If this swing up here is taken out, something like this. In that case, if this does happen, and who knows, in the next hour we'll see if it happens, but here now you have a, okay, we're long. This was a higher low here. And the channel seems to be continuing, at least for now. And we'll see if that puppy's going to go ahead and head up. All right, let me lob something out for the team. I want to get some feedback from the team here, because that's the whole idea of doing this together, is that we participate as a team in looking at live charts. I see some of you just come in. Don't worry if you're a little bit late here. We're still kind of getting started. And just a reminder to you, folks that are just coming in here, this is sim trading with live data. Okay? All right. Now, if this market pulls back, if NASDAQ pulls back, we have a couple of choices, right? If we leave this buy order limit sitting right here at the mid-band, and it bips back and touches it, we'll have two lot long with a blended average somewhere in the middle here, probably right in here, right? Two lot long, blended average in the middle of the box. Or we could reverse the trade and put a double sell order in right here, which would close the long trade out and get us short below there. You got to make a quick decision. You got 5 seconds. B for buy, leave the buy order, type in a B. For buy, leave the buy order, stay long, and get a blended average of 2 lot here. That's B. That would be a B vote. So we would leave it just the way it is right now. Type in an S if you would like to flip short here, get out of the long trade. Type in an S if you want to put a sell order and get short here. Cast your votes. You've got literally 5 seconds. Hit a letter. Cast your vote. I see some letters coming in. The B for buy, stay long with the 2 lot. S for sell, reverse the trade and short under the mid-band. Whatever the team votes, that's what we'll do. Cast your vote. 4 seconds left. We can't, bars are moving around here. We got to move quickly, right? All right, time's up. Counting B's. B's are still coming in. Okay, we got Roger, Philip, Michael, D, MG, all B's. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Long, which I think is a B. So there's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Maurizio, ciao bella, my friend. We got a dark horse right in. Maurizio is saying none. Stop the trade out and don't reverse it and don't get long. Now there's an interesting. That would have been C, I suppose. We only have one S, or no, I'm sorry, two. Mario and Peter are the two dissenting S's amongst the buy crowd. All right, so S is off the table. We'll leave it the way it is. Let's see if we come up and break even and start to make some money. Anybody else scanning the markets? Let's see. What else is moving right now? Gold. Let's get gold down here. I'm going to tuck this in the corner. We are long Nazi. And she's flirting with the top of our little box. We have a buy order to add right down there for the 2 lot. And let's drag old gold video down on here. Anything else moving? Gold, oil? Here, let's get oil down here. Stand by, please. Here is your oil chart. Got a lot of lines on here. Let me clean this puppy up real quick here. Hold on. There we go. All right, that's better. Whoa, what are you doing, you crazy oil? There we go. All right. Okay. All right. Make sure we're in sim. Yep, good. Okay, who wants to buy oil right now? Let's pop it up. If you had a box on, if this bar closed, buy it, yes or no? Quick, quick, quick. Buy, yes or no? Buy oil right now. Buy market or wait? No, 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 no. Wow, okay, good. Good. Are we breakout traders or pullback retracement traders? What type of traders are we? I mean, you could make the case. That was good. That was good. You were quick on the trigger finger there. You're getting me to stop pulling the trigger. Technically speaking, the trade's set up right there, right? So theoretically, if you had been looking at this chart, you should have already been in it. Yeah. So the risk of pulling the trigger right here is that your stop is down here, 12 ticks, 10, 12 ticks below your entry. So your stop is probably would be sitting down here somewhere. And this is actually where you'd be looking to get in on a pullback and a bounce, yes? So that's the problem of buying. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. I just to throw it on here. I know you all said no and not to do it. I know, but I'm going to do it anyway. There, we're in. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put the stealth stop down here. What is that? Is that 12 ticks? Yeah, it's about 13 ticks. Now, technically speaking, can you see this setup, right? This setup means that, okay, we're coming down on Nazi. Might pop our buy there. Could not clear that line there. See that resistance held. Top of that box. It's a pretty big box too. Maybe mid borderline of acceptability. Yeah, so I mean, if you put your stop 10, 12, 13 ticks down, sitting right down here under where you would normally be buying it, right? So that's the issue here, is that normally you would be buying that area on a bounce and then looking for it to get long. Right, but we're going to leave this on just for the heck of it. Now, somebody said short. Hey, MG, you want to short, where are you looking to short there, my friend? Up at 08? Here, let me see here. Let's take a look at the bigger picture on oil. Yeah, technically you're right. Let's put a line up here. Let's take a look at this real quick. Yeah, you know what? You could make the case, yes, that there is resistance, and you are technically in a downtrend. Right, right, right. All right, let me ask a question. Let's take a quick, Jacobo making a comment there too with Philip on a phantom trade short. Tell you what, let's take a quick vote here, 5 seconds again. We're going to take quick votes here tonight. We're not going to mess around. How many of you want to sell, take profit on the long if we bip up here, and then reverse it short like this? So we'll put 2 sell orders up here. We've had several people vote for a short. Oops. No, you want to sell 2. All right, so this would take the coin. So we're going to fade that top. Some of you said 08. I'm going to go 07. Sell. Good plan. You like that, D? All right. So if we pop up, that would be about 6 ticks long here off of our long entry, which we know we shouldn't have taken, and the trade was actually down here. Everybody knows that. Mid-band trade, right? And then you're looking to reverse it short up here. Now, we could also do the same down here. I mean, we could stop out of the long and reverse it short if the trend is going to continue on down. You know, so, like I said, after hours, crude, I don't know how much movement we're going to see. Just trying to get something on the charts to talk about. Don't really expect to make any money. That's why I do it in sim. If I thought there was money to be made, I'd be doing it live, right? Somebody typed in 6J. Let's go take a look at 6J, the Japanese yen futures. Everybody sees all these lines. Do I need all these lines on here? Can I clean up Nazi? Anybody? Just go ahead and clean that puppy up. Get this chart nice and clean, because there's a lot of lines and arrows and stuff. It could be confusing everybody. Just take all our stuff off of there. There we go. That better? I'll leave the box on, where theoretically the box could have been. And if you, by the way, if you boxed it properly, you would not actually be in this trade even yet, really. I mean, it would have to close this up above here. But I'll just leave it on there anyway, so we get something to watch. All right, so there's our Nazi, and here is our crude, right about where we got in. And let's get a 6J chart up here. Let's see if we get some movement on 6J. The plan up here was to reverse short up at 07, near that resistance level up there, if we bip up there. And if we come down here and stop out of the long trade, we will reverse it short under the midband. And so that is the planabilio for our friend Mr. Crude here. All right, I'm going to take a Russell chart and convert it to 6J and look for, and drag it down. Give me 1 second, please. Oops, wrong contract. Oh, don't lock up on me, 6J. Here it is. It's trying to load. 1 second, please. There we go. There we go. Here is the Japanese yen chart. Well, I should have looked at that first. Here's the trade at 5 o'clock right here, huh? Here's a little box right here. See it? Right here. You'd already be short. Let's take a look at the bigger picture and see what's going on with our friend 6J. You know, you could make the case that, you know, you're in a range. I would say the range kind of looks pretty much like this. Clearly you can see there's a support swing down here. And you can see that there's resistance up here. That looks to me to be about 20 ticks, 20, 25 ticks, so it's tradable. So what are we going to do now? Let's take a quick vote. S for sell the market now, or M for a mid-band vote. In other words, wait until the market gets back up here to do something with it. So that's more of a wait vote. So S for sell it now. Make sure we're in sim. Sell market. Type in an S if you want sell. Or M for mid-band, which would be a vote to wait till she comes up here to take a trade. Now, she might not retrace. We might miss it. Wow, mid-band votes. Nobody wants to sell this thing right now. Look at that. Not one sell vote. Oh, I'll be darned. All right, tell you what I'll do. I'll put a sell order up here. And we'll wait. Yep. Here, I'll put it right here. Yeah, it might just break down. We'll have to see. So the reason I think everybody is, yeah, Hardy, it needs a higher retrace. Everybody in here voted on the mid-band wait for retracement. We might be waiting quite some time if it never pulls back because, I mean, you know, it could just, you know, we'll see if it comes down here and bounces off of support and then comes back up. So everybody sees why you would not want to short right here and why everybody voted for a retracement. Everybody sees that, right? Why is that? Box it now. Buy for a scalp. All right, we'll take a vote. We're getting comments coming in from the team here tonight. Peter W. wants to find out if anybody wants to buy it here for a scalp. Buy it for a scalp up this way. Any buyers here, just type in a B. We'll take a quick vote on buying with Peter. Anybody want to buy this right now? If you don't want to buy it, you don't have to type in anything. No. Oh, geez, we're getting some buy votes. I'll be darned. Look at that. Peter, you've got some buy votes. Sure. It's just shoulda money. All right. Okay. We'll throw a buy on there. And then we'll reverse it short up here. All right. All right. Well, that's the whole idea here. The team speaks. Now, I want to tell you something. If it rips down through here, you're going to get hosed. You're going to get ripper. All right. Buy market. There you go. We're in. And here's what we'll do. If we do get a retrace, of course, we'll reverse it short up here. So that will be our target on a buy. You never know. Okay, the team spoke. Look at that. All right, that's what this is all about. The team, I can just lob out suggestions, and then we have to collectively as a group decide what we're going to do. And the team wanted to buy, so that's what we got. All right, so let's quickly recap where we're at here. We are long NASDAQ. Market hasn't moved but a few ticks from our opening position here. They'll kind of sit in the top end of this box. And we have the team spoke here, of course, and we have another buy order here in case it dips down to the mid band for a 2-lot blended long. And we're looking for at least a pop up to this swing right here, which is already checked twice, and perhaps move above it. I'm not going to put a target and a stop in here just yet, simply because this hasn't really resolved itself where it's going to go right now. Hey, that buy was a good idea, Peter. Hey, anybody want to take this? You want to push the sell higher? You want to go up here and let it move? That buy was a good call. That was the bottom of the range, so it was a higher likelihood that it would bounce, and it did not break. So that did not happen right there. Of course, you can see crude is just kind of sitting here at our entry point. It's not moved like even a tick or two in any direction so far. So we're waiting for some movement on crude here. And I'll be darned, we are long 6J. Look at that. You got a couple of ticks in her. I'll be a son of a gun. All right, let me circle back on this and make sure that we're handling this properly in everybody's the team's eyes tonight. If you do want to reverse and sell here, let's go ahead and cast a vote of R, and I will leave the sell order limit. So in other words, when it comes up here, you will get out of one lot and be short one lot. That'd be an S vote. Or you could type in N for no, which would be no sale, and I'll just take this off, and we'll let this little bounce thing run to wherever it goes. S for leave the sell order. Okay, we're long 2 NASI. S would be a vote to sell at the midband, get out of the long, and reverse short. N would be to get rid of this and see where this long bounce takes us. We only have one on long, MG. We can't take ideally, if we had bought 2 down there, we would yeah, if we had 2 on here, you could conceivably take 1 here, pull up a stop behind it, and then see if she goes back up to the top of the range there. Right? That would be the plan. So in other words, as long as it stayed within this trading range right here, here's resistance, here is support. So you're covering your shorts down here at support, and you're looking to buy, which of course we did. And then when you get to the mid-band, you have to decide what to do. So yeah, if we had 2 on, you would take 1 off here and then trail the stop up tight. Yeah, but otherwise. So we got a mixed vote here. We get several no's and an equal amount of S for sells. So we're tied. We have a period of indecision. So for the heck of it right now, I'm going to leave it there. All right, circling back over here, we see that oil is trying to pop. We did take a vote. I can't remember. One of the team members had suggested to, if you recall, there's a resistance level up here at this 08, 09 level. And we're fading that. So oil, the idea is to take profits on the long trade here, which we got in late. Everybody sees that the actual entry was here on a box at the midband, so you would already be in from here, probably have a scalp target off and be trailing a stop. So we got a late entry. Now, some of you cast the vote to reverse up here. So that's what we're going to do. That's why there's 2 sell limit order up here, right? Pop the top, take the 1 long off, cash that out at 6 ticks, and then reverse short. Okay? And over here, now our NASDAQ trade is not working out, so we gotta figure out what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do with our friend little Mr. Nazi here. We went ahead and doubled down, which, by the way, I want to share something with you. I rarely, ever, never do that. I can honestly say I can't remember for a very long time. I rarely double down on that. Why is it sometimes not a good idea to double down? Double down is the case where you're in a trade from let's say on the long side, you're in a trade from a higher level, and then you're actually in a losing trade, and you add to it. Why is that not a good idea most times? There may be an exception to that. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Why might that not be a good idea? Anybody? I did it on purpose, by the way. I wanted to show that. You could double your loser. That's right, Maurizio. Philip says, once you have a bad trade, it could always be bad, and you're just adding to it. That's true. Because in the end, what could happen here is that it comes much lower, making the loss that you could have taken from up here on a 1 lot. So we got long, as you recall, I think we got long on that bar right there somewhere. We have a blended average now because we bought at the midband on that wick of that candle right there. So when I say we have a blended average 2 lot in the middle of the box, see it? Remember we said that? Because the trade in the market is moving against you. You're adding to a loss. That's right. It's generally not a very good idea to do that. So now you get caught up in what's called a hope trade. A hope trade, everybody's been in a hope trade. You know what I'm talking about, right? You start looking at every candle, okay, right? You know how that goes, right? You're looking at every candle, praying for the candle to close up because you're long. This thing's I know it's gonna get me out of this. Look, I'm only down 3 ticks. I'm okay. This thing, here's the I used to do this. This is how I know. I used to do this all the time. Oh, these candles are going to close up. I know we're going to get at least back to here. And you know what? If it does that, I'll pull 1 lot off. No problem. We'll pull me out of the fire here. I know it's going to do it. We'll be okay. Look, it's going to close up. See, it's about to close up. Yeah, the most important thing is to stick to your discipline. So in this case, where are we going to cut our losses if we're going to book losses on the NASDAQ trade? Where do we say enough pain, no mas, I am out of this puppy? Let me give you some options. What I'm trying to impress upon everybody here, of course, is that, you know, we're not perfect. We're not robots. We're not machines. We make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Every human being in the world makes mistakes, no matter how smart or good you are, right? And so occasionally we're going to get into bad trades. So where do we say no more? So we got to put a stop in here. So let's get our 2 lot stop in. Moving in our favor. You nervous ones? All right, let me ask us another question. We'll get the stop in. I'll just put the stop real quick, and then we'll move it around. Give me 1 second here. There we go. All right, it's moving in our favor. Hey, you 6J buyers, a few more ticks, we're going to pop. You sure you want to get short there, or you want to let that long run? You're going to reverse it here, okay? You long 6J advocates, just checking back. The way this is set up, configured, you're going to reverse short just under the midband here, or do you want to let that runner, see if that little long bounce continues up into here? What say you, team? R for run, R for runner. Just I'll count R's. Or S, leave the sell order right there. Taking one more vote on that puppy. There seems to be a sense of confusion around this one. I don't blame you. It's right in the middle of the range, right? Statistically speaking, it could go either way right there. It could reverse the midman and go back down, or it could plow right through it, head up to the top, and erase whatever gains you have right now. Right? Come on, let's get some votes in here. Whoa, sell. Whoa, look at that. Overwhelmingly move. Oh, you want me to move it up? Oh, here we go. Now here's some interesting innovative thinking coming in here on this trade. Looking at counting the cells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got a lot of cells. Okay, so people want to leave the sell order. So what people are saying is this: take this up higher, but go ahead and put a protective stop under the long trade. Good idea. Good idea. Let's get a sell stop. Where do you want it? You want it tight? You can put it under the wick of this bar right here. All right, so that's what we did. We pushed our sell order up just outside of the box where it broke down last time. Okay, so we will take profits on the long trade up there, and we will trail a stop behind it to lock in our profits. Now, I missed this. I was going to say this, and it happened too quickly, but it's okay. If we're going to take profits on the NASI long, how many of you want to take one off here and one off here? So in other words, we'd put sell orders in, take profits. Or do you want, here, this is position, let's call this 1. Position 1 is you take one off here and you fade the here. So you're out 2 lot right there. Position 2 would be not to take it here, and then have a runner up here. 5 seconds, punch in your vote, 1 or 2. Position 1. Be quick to take some profits right here. Position 1, and take 2 off here. Position 2. First contract right here, and you let a runner run. Position 2 vote. Cast your vote. 4 seconds left on the NASI long trade. Ooh, we got a mix. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Huh? Wow, wow. Let me count the ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 6 ones. How many twos? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Oh, I'll be darned. We got 8 twos. The twos squeaked it out just by a hair. All right, so you twos, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pull one off, put a sell limit just shy of that top swing right there, and then we'll pop a runner up here. There you go. Okay, now that we're moving up, yeah, I want to fade. See, this is a little bit tough here. You got 2 swings. You got a swing right here, and you got a swing right here, and we're trying to fade both. So I'm going to come inside the lowest one. Now, what do we want to do with our stops? Oh, we stopped out of 6J. Take the sell order off. Okay, good call. Thanks, Peter. Okay, we got to get our stops up on NASI. Where do we want to put them? Let me give you some options. A, just below the entry. B, break even, right on the entry. And C, slightly above it. Cast your votes. 5 seconds on the clock. A, underneath. Trailing stops. We're talking about 2 lot trailing stops on our long NASDAQ trade. B, break even. C, slightly above our entry to ensure profitability. counting C's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, wait a minute. We got some A's. C's, counting C's. Cast your vote. 4 more seconds left. A is below it. B is break even right on it. C is 2, 3 ticks above it to ensure profitability. Yeah, you know what? I'm kicking myself on this 6J. That stop was too tight. This silly wick of this candle got us. Look at that. See, sometimes you put those stops too tight. Yeah, the wick of this candle got us. It's right back at the mid-band. The C's have it. I'm going to go 2 ticks. I'm going to come back up, put that puppy right here. See, we're in short profitability on NASDAQ right now. Let's see if we get a pop. Broke the swing finally. Seems like it wants to head up. So we have we're fading this top here with a sell order to peel 1 lot off. We have a runner up here in case the tuck takes the top off. If you had cast your vote for the position 1, we would actually be out of 1 lot right now, right here, right? Remember that was the 1 vote, position 1. Remember, that was the peel 1 here, so we would be out of 1. You would have banked a little bit of scalper coin on that one and been out of it. You'd only have a 1 lot left. All right, tell you what we're going to do here. Let's drag a gold chart down because we are sitting right at the mid-band on gold. And I want to take a look at that puppy real quick. Let's see where we're at here. Let's replace 6J with gold. I don't have Object Trader loaded just right now. That's okay, because I don't want to focus too much on the details of Object Trader itself. We're looking for trade entries. Now this chart does not look particularly good, mainly because it is pretty choppy and sideways. So let me ask you a question. Would we want to set up a trade that might look something like this? We would sell a breakdown here, short, and buy a break up here, long. So effectively that would be a box that would look more or less like this. Okay, we stopped out of NASI. Circle back, take those off. There you go. We're still in crude though. Let's see, get the crude chart over here. Yeah, just down a tick. Okay. All right. Now, how big would this box have to be if we were going to use an Object Trader box to engulf these candles like that? Yeah, exit on close would have been good. MG. Yeah. Yeah, we could have put, if you had OT up there, you could have done exit on close. Definitely. And that would be out of it. So, and this is a topic I wanted to talk about, and I'm actually going to talk more about this in detail next week, is the proper size of a mid-band box. Here you can see support is sitting right around this 44.50. And resistance is up here at 45.50, 10 ticks. This is kind of the upper end of box size acceptability. You really want the box to be less than 10 ticks if you can do it. See this box over here? See how this box right here is let's take a look at what the size of that box might have been there. The tighter wound the candles, so you're looking at 88 to 93. This is 5, 6, 8 ticks is a good ideal box because it's kind of like a coiled spring. It's getting ready to pop. Whereas over here, you can see that we've got a lot of wiggle room in here before it pops either way. And the risk to the downside is that, you could say that there is a support swing right here. So what does that mean? Well, it's not a major one. It's only minor since there was only one sort of candle wick there, right here. But it's quite possible if you got filled short, it might, move, 2, 3, 4 ticks in your favor, if even that, and then bounce right in your face. So if you took the short here, unless it just plowed right through it and headed down to this support area down here. Can you see all the support down here? See all the predictors and the support? So the good thing on the short side would be if you could wind up getting a break, you know, all the way down here. Now the long side looks arguably a little better, right? Because we can see that there are a couple established swings up here, the main one being right up here. See this swing? See this resistance area? See all the predictors bubbles up here along with the these 1, 2, 3 swings? So arguably, if you get a long trade, you might get a very nice pop out of it, quite possibly up to here, which would be about, looks to be about 12 to 15 ticks. So let's see if we get a pop on our friend Mr. Gold. Let's pull back 6J. That long trade is still working out. Who made that call? Was that Peter? Who said to buy down there that took the vote? I think it was Peter. Wasn't that you? And we took the vote and everybody said buy it? That was a good call. Look, and it's a good thing we didn't reverse it either. Look. Look, it popped right through the midband. Yeah, I was really concerned about the notion of selling it here because, you know, you could easily see that you could get continuation all the way up to the top. So in other words, what I'm saying in regards to the 6J trade, the buy down here at support was absolutely a good call and it made money. We choked it off, unfortunately, a little too quickly with a stop that was too tight, and the wick of this candle got us. What we should have done is left the stop a little lower down here, closer to our entry. Let it wiggle around in here a little bit. And we took off the sell reverse here. Or no, I think we left it on, but we pushed it higher. And there was some risk to that, okay? There was a definite risk. Okay, we're reverse short on crude. Okay, what I was trying to impress upon everybody was that there was an inherent risk. Rarely would I ever do this, where I would, in the middle of a range like this, arbitrarily go ahead and take a long trade off and reverse and short it right in here. Right? Because we talked about it ahead of time. Before it even got here, we said there's a distinct possibility that it could continue on up to here. Now, if you want to short the top of this range, that's a whole other matter, right? And by the way, I just want a word of caution to you oil shorties over here. Just so everybody's clear, this is all in Sims, not real money. Okay, we got gold. Let's leave gold tucked in the corner here for now. Still in this box, no movement. Gold's kind of a sleeper right now. And 6J is pulling back to the midband, so let's tuck this on the side too, because we're not in it. And circle back to see what's going on with the crude trade. Now, the positive argument for shorting this was the fact that we have some established resistance here. Yes? However, in my view, this is a risky trade, simply because of the last thing we just said on 6J, which was, you know, you don't want to necessarily take a short at resistance. If I was going to short this, I think I would probably be more prone to try to put a box around it, let it reverse down out of here, and try to get a scalper trade down into here. Everybody see what I'm saying? That's the opposite of just sort of blindly putting a limit order and shorting this, because there is a distinct possibility. Let me be clear about what I'm saying here. So I would come up, and then for me personally to short the top of it, I would have to see some kind of rollover and a break back down like that to get in it. Whereas, as it currently sits, there could be a continuation up. So that begs the question to the team. Now that we are short, we're in it, we have to decide what we're going to do with it. And that means stops, and that means targets. At what point up here do we want to say on this short, let's see if we're filled on gold, not gold in the box, that we want to get out of the short? How far up should we put our stop? Keep in mind, crude's $10 a tick, okay? So it's twice as much as NASDAQ, Russell, and YM, which are $5 a tick. So if you're used to $5 a tick, this is twice the risk, twice the potential profit, but twice the risk, right? We know that risk and return bite both ways. How do we establish where we're going to get out of this short on our stop? Where would we look? How would we know how far it might go? I see some numbers coming in. 45.12 from Carl. 3 to 4 ticks. Is that all, Adam? A few ticks above the 11 swing. All right, so most of you seem to be coming in kind of up in here, right? We're short, so we have to buy it back. So we'll put a buy stop above this swing right here. That's our risk. If this does roll, the question is, where do we buy it back? In here. And we got to put a buy. We're going to take the sell order off. That didn't happen, right? We were already long from here, so we already got a profitable trade out of this. It didn't make much. I think that was 6, 7, 8 ticks. It wasn't much, but it was a profitable trade, right? So we're looking for a rollover. Where do we want to buy it back if it rolls and comes back to us? Let me give you some options. You could put it down by the midband. That would be A. You could put it right here. Right about that swing would be B. And C would be way up here just to get out of that puppy quickly. A, cast your votes, 5 seconds. Type in the letter. A would be to buy it back here on the short. At or around the midband. That'd be A. B, right about that swing right there where it broke out. And C is let's get out of this puppy as quickly as possible. C would be a vote for let's hope this puppy rolls and at least gives me 5 ticks. Right? Yeah, no, that'd be 8 ticks. Let's hope this puppy rolls and at least gives me 8 ticks. Ooh, quite a mix. We got B out of Carl, quite a few C's from Peter and Adam, A from MG, B from Weldon. There's a lot of C's, a couple of B's. Just counting up the C's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just off the top of my head, I have to say it looks like the C's have it. The C's vote has it. Rob, Mario, who else? Adam. Okay, I'll tell you what. We'll just leave the C in here. We'll leave it pretty tight. By the way, I would take the C myself. Given the time of day, you have to filter many factors in here. You really want this to roll, and you want to get out of it pretty quickly. This is not something where you say to yourself, "Oh, it's going to probably all get all the way back down to here." Back to, oh, wouldn't that be a nice trade? Geez, that'd be like 40 ticks. Woohoo, let's make a ton of money. The odds are you might not get to here. You might get to here, but there's some degree of certainty you might get to there. So at this time of day, I would definitely go with a tight target. No question about it. Yeah. C's the winner. All right, let's see if we got a gold trade going on here. Dope. While we were yakking away on Crudabilio, we are actually long gold. Hey, it's good. Aren't you glad we didn't short that 6J? Right here? All right, we pulled it. We stopped out. See, that reversal at that midband was not, I had to disagree with that. That was not a good idea. Look at it all the way back up here. Now, how many of you want to short 6J at resistance here? Just throwing ideas out. Throwing ideas. Came up and wicked this 96.40, 96.40. The swing is right here. Tell you what, we're just going to count up a quick S for shorts. Anybody want to short here? We'll count S's if you want to short. Short market right here. Just short it. Right off resistance. Yes or no? Y or an S for shorts. Cast your vote. If you don't want to take a trade, don't type anything in. I'll just count S's. Not very many. We've got 3 votes for short right now. And given the amount of people in the room, that's not very many. Well, it could come back to here, right? Let's think about the logistics of it, right? Is, from a risk return perspective, does it make sense, I think is the question, right? you'd have to put a stop, a protective stop up here, right, in case it flipped in your face. So, and then your target would be pretty close. I mean, you'd have to fade the midband and get out of it on a short right in here. And so your entry, or hypothetically, your entry would be right here, right where it is. So does that look like a good trade from a risk-return perspective? Right? What is the trade setup we're talking about if you shorted it here? There's your target, and this would have to be your stop up here. Maybe a little higher. You'd have to go a little higher on the stop. It looks to be about 50-50, right? In other words, the distance to your target is almost about the distance to your stop. When we look at trade setups, just visually, see that crude popping through the top there? Yep. What are we going to do now with that puppy? Bam, gone. All right, what's the lesson we learned here? What is the lesson we learned on this crude trade? And we talked about it before it was even taken. I honestly never ever do that. Well, you could have closed it with no clear reversal. There was no clear reversal. That's right. So this is the way I look at it. First of all, we had, I'm just going to recap what happened. We had a sell order up here. Or no, let me back up. We were long from here. I think it was either this bar or this bar. I think it was one of these bars here we got long. It was right shortly after we opened the room, right? We had the long trade. We wanted to take profits up here, and there was a notion floated out to short this resistance area. So we had a sell limit and a reversal order here, right? I never, ever, ever do that, ever. Just to let everybody know, just to be clear about that. And for this very reason is that when a market is moving in a given direction, there is a strong propensity for it to go ahead and continue on up. And so if you arbitrarily short a resistance area expecting a rollover but not getting it, you know, you could make the case this never really rolled, right? I mean, you got a bar close down. That's why I'm very cautious in using bar closes. So if you had Object Trader turned on and you activated bar close inside of this box, right, then the close of this bar would have actually gotten you short also, just like the limit order right here, right? For me personally, when I see markets at or around support resistance areas and or around a mid-band, I rarely ever turn bar close on. Unless the market's moving so fast and I want to get in, I will go ahead and hit bar close, which essentially would be almost the same as a market order, right? You know, and the risk there, of course, is you're going to get some slippage. When the bar fills, when the bar closes, you're going to get a fill, and there's definitely, especially with NASDAQ. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if it takes this, it's taking this swing out. You could go all the way back up to, let's see where this puppy could go on crude. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, you can see that there's resistance up here. I mean, it could run all the way back up here. So yeah, the lessons learned here is we just don't arbitrarily short a resistance area expecting a rollover. If you do get a rollover and you do get sucked into it and it moves against you, some of you had typed in a very tight stop, like 3 ticks, so your stop would have actually been like right here, you know, like right above that candle. That would have been the other way to protect yourself, right? If you're in a bad short that you don't like, get out of it quickly. We put it up here. There was a vote to put it up here. That's why we left it up there. So you took a stop that could have been from there to there, go up to here. So it's a judgment call. And in a lot of cases, you have to look at where, you know, the swings are. You have to look at where support and resistance are and make a little bit of judgment calls. And you have to kind of sometimes, you know, react and move things on the fly. And don't be afraid to get out quickly. Look, if you made a mistake and it's not moving in your favor, you can always do what? What's the quickest way to get out of a trade that you want to get out of? You have to move targets and stops around? What you got there? You got this button on OT too. Close the puppy. I'm out. Right, there you go, MG. Just hit close. Right. That's the quickest way out. Market's moving a few ticks against you. You're in a trade you're not comfortable with. You don't want to wait and see what the consequences are, whether it's a target or stop. If you want out, hit the close button and get out. Because why? You can always get right back in. You'll look for a better trade. You'll open yourself up. I always look at it this way. You'd never want to get into a double whammy situation. What I mean by that is this, is that while for those of us and those of you who accidentally get sort of sucked into a hope trade, hoping it's going to roll, hoping it's going to bounce, hoping it's going to do what you want it to do, you could in fact be missing a good trade in the other direction, right? So in this case, you could have said, well, really what should have happened here is I had the nice long here. I probably should have put 2 lot on it, peeled one here, and then right now be trailing the stop on a runner instead of reversing it here. Right? That's the way I should have handled it. So if you accidentally did flip into short, you hit the close button, bam, you're out. Don't be afraid to admit mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. The key is to keep those losers cut short. All right, I think that is a wrap. Let's go over to gold. I think we're in gold, and we're going to close out the room, or the webinar here. So we are done. Yeah, we're in a gold. We're up a tick, down a tick. Yeah, we're not going to nurse this anymore. What are we going to do? Bam, out, 2 ticks, no problem. Close button. MG, you got it. D. Charles, I came in late to the webinar tonight. Is there a webinar Saturday? No, Chris, Gary canceled that. For those of you that came in late, Gary canceled. He moved the Saturday webinar to next Saturday. So same webinar, only to be pushed to next Saturday, okay? We do have a live room in the morning. I'll be hosting it myself. I'll open up 5:55 like Gary does, 5 minutes before the crude oil pit open. We'll be looking for trades on crude and gold in that first half an hour. Of course, at shortly before 6:30, equity market open. We'll get all 5 charts up. And depending on the choppiness of the market, hold on, let me go ahead and stop the recorder.